Some of you might wonder, how in the world do they come up with these little radio programs every day? Well, as I'm going through my life, I try to figure out what's going on and how I need to improve, and whatever I'm working on, I try to teach somebody else. Yesterday, it was like a light bulb came on, and I started thinking as I was walking into the church, how I thought, what does it mean to be easygoing, Loretta? And how do you be an easygoing person? So I got a piece of paper out and I put it down and I started writing down thoughts about how to be an easygoing person. And I'm going to share those. It's a 6-part radio program, or it's going to be a 6-part devotional, because I'm now sending these out to people on my email mailing list on Fridays. And so I'm just going to start it out by teaching you. The first point is, number one, realize how to be easygoing is realizing that people are more important than things. You know, if that's one of the ways to be an easygoing person. The Bible says in Proverbs 16:32, he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh the city. How did this come up? Yesterday when I was standing at my book table, something happened to one of the new signs I just made 2 weeks ago, and it fell off the table, and when it fell off, the back of it tore off, and it could no longer stand by itself. It had to lean up against another sign. And whenever it fell, I just said, no problem, it can be fixed. Then a little bit later on, I went and got glue dots and put them on there, and it fixed it fine. And I thought, you know what? It would be easy to get aggravated at people when they break something, especially something you just got. But that's not being easy going, you know. And so my mind went back to many years ago. We had our motorhome, the brown motorhome, about 5 years, and we went to this church, and one of the kids in the church was riding around, and we weren't paying attention to him riding around, and his bicycle, he fell against our motorhome, and made a horrible scratch on it. I mean, just a horrible scratch. And when he did that, we just we didn't fuss at the parents. We didn't ask them to fix it. We just have lived with that scratch, and I can go look at that scratch right now and remember it. But we just thought, no problem, and and we thought this thought that people are more important than things, and our relationship with that family would be more important than things. Last year when we went back to that church, we flew into that church instead of driving, and so we didn't have a guitar, and they wanted us to sing. So that young man actually loaned us his guitar. And do you know why that young man began singing and playing a guitar? Because he was inspired by us. Now, ladies, I wonder if he would have cared about being inspired by us, or even started playing the guitar, if we'd have made a big deal about that motorhome, or if we'd yelled at him so much and made him feel stupid because of the accident that he had. So being easygoing pays off, especially for the cause of Christ. It really pays off. So let's think about being an easygoing person instead of a hard to live with person. Rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice.